Okay, let's go over example 4, which is our real life application. And this is part of chapter 6, section 2, comparing and ordering integers. Problem A says the number line shows the coldest recorded temperatures for several cities in Virginia. Okay, so looking at this number line, I see mostly negative numbers. Okay, so 0 is way over here on the right, and then we have positive 1. Okay, and then so we see graphed here is Richmond, and then Roanoke at negative 11. Lynchburg is at negative 10. Norfolk is at negative 3. And Wallops Island is at 0. Okay, so again, the number line shows the coldest recorded temperatures for those following cities. Okay, so problem 1 says, which city has the coldest temperature? Okay, so coldest would be a number farthest to the left, because that would be the coldest. And I'm seeing that there's a dot farthest to the left at negative 12, and that is Richmond. So the city with the coldest temperature is Richmond. Okay. Question 2 says, has a negative Fahrenheit, so we're measuring in degrees Fahrenheit, has a negative Fahrenheit ever been recorded on Wallops Island? Okay, so going back, it says these temperatures are the coldest recorded, so the coldest ever. So we want to know if Wallops Island has ever been negative. Well, Wallops Island is at 0 degrees. And if you remember from the last section, 0 is neither positive or negative. It's just 0. So, since it's at 0, our answer would be no, because the coldest temperature for Wallops Island is 0. Okay, let's try another real life problem. Problem B says the table shows the highest and lowest elevations for the 5 states. Where elevations is like how high up above sea level you are or how far below. It's talking about how far away you are from sea level. Okay, so over here on the left we have Arkansas, the states, Arkansas, California, Florida, Louisiana, and Tennessee. Then we have the highest elevation for those states. And then we have the lowest elevation in those states, and we are measuring in feet. Problem 1 says, order the states by their highest elevations. So we're going to look at the middle column, highest elevations, from least to greatest. Okay, so for these, earlier in the examples, we graphed them, right? But these are some really big numbers. So we're just going to look and order them from the smallest to biggest. Okay, so I see 3 of these numbers are in the thousands, so those won't be the smallest. We have 2 numbers that are in the hundredths. So let's look at what's in the hundredths place. Well, for Florida, 345, we have a 3 in the hundredths place. And in 535, 5 is in the hundredths. Well, I know that 3 is smaller than 5. So the lowest elevation, the least elevation for the highest elevation would be 345. Next would be 535. Okay, now let's look at our thousands. We have 2,753, 14,494, and then 6,643. Well, 2 is in the thousands place. 14, well, that's way bigger than 2,000. And then we have a 6 in the thousands place. So 2,735 is the smallest number with a thousands place value. So 2,753. And then it would be 6,643. So the highest overall elevation is in California with 14,494. Okay. Oh, there it is. Couldn't find my cursor. Okay, so then I'm just going to look over my numbers, make sure I'm really the smallest to the biggest, the least to greatest. Okay, looks good. Problem 2 says, order the states by their lowest elevation, so that's the third column, from least to greatest. Okay, so again, I'm not going to graph these because we're working with some bigger numbers here. Let's see, do we have any negatives, which would be below sea level? Oh, we have two negative numbers. We have negative 282 and then negative 8. So picturing a number line in my head, which of those would be farthest to the left of 0? If we're not sure, let's look at an example of a number line. Let's look at this one from our first problem. So 0 is here, and we're talking about negative 282 and negative 8. Well, here's negative 8, and as you can see, as numbers go to the left on our number line, they look like they get bigger, but they're actually getting smaller because they're negative. So what should be farther to the left? Negative 282 or negative 8? Well, I don't see negative 282 between negative 8 and 0, so definitely negative 282. So negative 282, and then it'd be negative 8, and then what? So we have 55, 0, and 178. Well, 0 is neither positive or negative, and it would definitely be before 55, so 0 would be next. Let's see, we have 55 and 178. Well, 178 has a hundreds place value of 1, whereas 55 doesn't have any hundreds. So 55 would be the next biggest, next greatest, and then 178 would be our biggest, lowest elevation. And that's it.